Hi guys, this is Isaac from Why I Play here with another Genshin Impact video. I've been farming normal and elite enemies for a very long time, since AR 30 all the way to AR 55, and I've always wondered what are the most efficient farming routes on the map. So I decided to put together a map that shows all the resin efficiency of the various farming routes across Teyvat. This map is not like other maps. Alright guys, here is why I place Resin Efficiency Map. So you've probably seen a lot of farming maps, right? If you've been playing Genshin for a while. What's so special about the Resin Efficiency Map? Well, the answer is, if you zoom in, you realize that each route has a point rating, right? Either in yellow or in orange, right? And also some of the routes are colored in green and red. Okay, so what this efficiency map does is that it identifies the routes with the highest efficiency for your farming. In other words, the highest resin efficiency per second. Alright, so in order to get this score, I ran across the entire map for 3.5 hours, killed over 1,000 normal enemies and 234 elite enemies, and I put a resin efficiency score on every single route and sometimes at parts of the route. Alright, so you get numbers, for example 86 here. This means that the efficiency from the waypoint to the killing the Laocho will be a score of 86. Alright, so the highest score on the route, the highest yellow number score, is 126. Right, and the lowest possible score is a measly 15 points. Okay, so any route that scores 80 or higher will be colored green. Right, if the end of the route is 80 or higher, the entire route will be colored green. Alright, but for red routes, any part of the route that is below 50 will be colored red. So this is to help you identify weak areas of your route that you can consider to redesign. So just to note, I went into this blind when I created the routes. It was just based on routes that I run normally, so not all the routes are optimal. Let's go through and highlight to you where I think can be improved. So now you know what the yellow numbers represent, right? The red lines and the green lines, but there's also this orange number. Alright, so what the orange number does is that it also includes any investigate points that you find along the way, because investigate points can give you artifacts and mora. So the value of the artifacts and mora you find will go into the yellow number and total up to the orange number. So if your artifacts are still respawning, use the yellow number. If your artifacts are ready and you're looting them, then use the orange number. Alright, now so let's look at some of the routes. You realize I've included some routes with no elites in it. For example, this route here highlighted in red, it only has an efficiency of 48. On the route are 3 Saisins and a bunch of Hilichos, about 6 Hilichos hanging around here. So if you're wondering why I'm including such routes, right, the reason is because I'm trying to get to 1,000 normal enemies so that I only need to do 2 maps to hit the 2,000 normal enemy and 400 elite cap. This is for extreme farming, right? If you have a lot of free time on your weekends, you can do it. But of course, if you're in a rush, right, you only have 1 or 2 hours to play, or you just got home from work and you want to de-stress and you want to do the best routes, then we only look at the green routes. Okay, so moving on, let's look at an example, right, of how a route can be green even though there are no elites on it. And the reason this route is highlighted in green is because of the high value of investigate points. Right, investigate points have ridiculous value. As you can see here, you can go up to 195 points and 138 points at each part of the route respectively, because artifacts are worth so much more, essentially. Even the Laocho, right, which is a very famous farming spot, right, only gets you an efficiency of 75 points. Okay, so other routes I like to highlight, right? Golems generally don't do very well because they take a while to stand up. These golems are kind of ready to fight, but you have to climb a bit of a hill to get to them. Okay, so going down, right, there are other spots such as during cast, single mages, generally not very good. Alright, this particular mage has 2 investigate mora spots near him, so it's not too bad. But otherwise, you'll get pretty low efficiency scores. Down here where Aozang is, right, this is one of the best farming zones in the entire map. So you can see there is a score of 89 here if you pick up the Jovishap and then the Mitachel, a score of 126 for the Eyes of the Storm, and here 125 for 5 elites. Some misconceptions, right? Elites definitely give you efficiency. That's not true. Okay, if you look at this part of the route, you get 69 points for killing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 elites. So the reason the score is so low is probably again because the rain guards take a while to stand up, and also there is quite a gap between the elites, and there are individual elites without fodder enemies around them. There's only a bunch of 4 treasure hunters here, and that's about it. So some other findings from the route here, this is a very poor spot to farm. I decided to detour here before going over to the Mitachels, but this detour to catch 3 Anemo slimes has a terrible efficiency of 29. So after plotting this map, I've decided that I will not be farming this point. So I can get to either the meter chills from the Abyss Mages, or I can just come over from the Treasure Hunters down to the Abyss Mage, right? These are better ways to connect the route that I will be exploring. Mount Tianhe is another example of where elites may not necessarily be your best option. The efficiency before you climb the mountain isn't too bad, alright? It's about 60 something for this meter chill, even though I didn't record it. If you add some normal helixels, it drops to 51. But if you have to climb the mountain to the Ruin Hunter, you will get a very poor score of 42. Okay, going down the mountain here, right, catching a few ice slimes, fire slimes, and then treasure hunters is also a pretty bad route for efficiency, simply because there's so much to travel. Two of my favorite routes include this one, which is at South Sea Cliff, right, and one more further up, which I'll show you later. So for South Sea Cliff, usually many people will just do the Electrosicin Mage, go to the end, drop down and kill the 2 Abyss Mages, right? You will get a good efficiency, but you're missing out on something like 20 Hydro Slimes, which don't seem to be worth a lot, but if you convert them in terms of Mora, that's about 1,800 Mora of value. That's if you convert their experience into Mora as well. So actually, there's a lot of value to be had, no reason to rush straight to the end. Another excellent route is the one along here, where you start in the waypoint right in front of Oceanit, go all the way down along the coast of Wuwang. Okay, so one notable characteristic about such routes is that there is a high density of both elite mobs as well as normal enemies. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to populate all the normal enemies into the map, right? Because it's already pretty cluttered. If I did so, it would really be quite a nightmare. I've seen some other maps which tried it, right? Did not really turn out very well. Here we have a couple of routes that are just red and generally not advised to run. There's Cape Oath here. If you go up to catch 4 Electro Slimes, you will only get efficiency of 37. But what is probably even more appalling is this route here. If you go and kill the Fatui agent, which you would think would be worth more than 4 Electro Slimes, you only get an efficiency of 33 because it takes longer to kill the agent and you have to travel pretty much the same distance. Yeah, overall, if you do all the green routes on the map only, it'll take you maybe about 1.5 to 2 hours, right? Perhaps faster if you have a stronger party. That's it for today, alright? Let me just cover some of the content below, alright? If you're interested to find out more, you want to watch the run, you can see it here at bit.ly/GIFarm205 minutes, and I also have other interesting links for you below. If you're interested in how I got the values of each individual enemy, you can look at the Hilichurl Index. I have artifact drop rate data here at World Level 6 drop rate, as well as a bunny hopping guide right at the end if you're interested in bunny hopping to move faster. Alright guys, hope you found the map useful. If you still have questions, please feel free to leave them in the comment section below and I will get right back to you. Right, do also help me out by liking this video, and you can subscribe to my channel if you are interested for such similar content from Genshin Impact. This is Isaac from Why I Play, and I'll see you in the next one.